Hey guys, welcome to Valley Ave Collectors Chat. So this is just like a short episode because what happened last week was our episode got corrupted. So we talked about variants in comics, some of our favorite variants, some of the worst variants we could think of. We had Drew the last time. Unfortunately, the episode gave us half of it, when we talked about underrated characters. So this week we're just going to touch on anything comic related just to make up for it. So I got Justin and I got Scott with me tonight. So how are you guys doing?
Good.
Pretty good.
Good to have you guys back yet again. So speaking comics, I never really got to ask, like, what are you guys' like top five on the hunt list? Like, what's that gem you guys can't go without that you want to get?
Ooh,
Want to
top
get?
five. Ooh. Maybe Batman #1 would
Batman
be for
number
me.
one would be a cool one. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I met a guy just right before I left the comic shop. He actually brought in a Batman #4.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. And he was just saying that he got drunk. It was a drunk night on eBay, and before he knew it, he woke up and he won the book. He wouldn't tell me how much he paid for it, but like, I think when they graded it, it came back like a 1. And still, that's pretty damn good.
I mean, that the book exists still in any form, you know.
Right, you know, especially from that era. So
Amazing. I think when I got my House of Secrets '92, that was really the big thing for me.
Oh,
Other than that, maybe if I ever came across Cerebus #1.
oh,
oh,
ooh, that's a really nice pull.
I mean,
nice.
it's not super expensive, but it's kind of rare.
But still, you know, it connects to you. Dave Sim stuff is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, anything Dave Sim would be cool for me. But if Cerebus 1 walked into my life, I would definitely give you a call. You know,
Nice.
like for me, I already got my big DC book, which was Demon #1, just because I'm a Kirby guy. And that's pretty much all it took for me. Not really an expensive book. I'm not really that guy who shoots for the $1 million stuff. But if it's a Marvel book, everybody knows I talk about it, I rant about it. It's Marvel Spotlight 5. So I have a fun thing to share. My fiance actually made me a ring. You can't see it, but I'll send a picture of it. So she took the actual comic cover and cut it up and turned it into my ring.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's one thing I'll always have, and no one can ever take from me. So I'm gonna be happy about it. But
Oh,
if I
yeah.
get the book, you know, I have the insert. That's what I got, and I got a like a really beat up copy, but a really nice one. That's top of my list right now.
That's pretty cool.
Oh.
Yeah, do you guys have like anything other than collecting the book? Any kind of big bucket list thing you guys would rather do as a collector? Like for me, I would love to just find a whole issue of original art. It has the whole issue together, and just buy every page and just read it. That's all I want to do. Any issue, pretty much. Just hunt down all the art to it.
That would be very trippy.
Yeah, that would be.
I can't think of anything. I mean, comics keeps me just comics alone keeps me busy enough. I feel like I'll never own all the ones I want.
True.
Yeah, because Facebook just told me like 2 years ago, I finally got my Marvel Holy Grail from Francisco at the Toy Expo here. You know, Amazing Spider-Man 129.
Oh, and that's a very nice pickup indeed. You know, and
Yeah.
that's the thing that I hate is the books we want weren't valuable how many years ago? It's when we're out looking for them, that's when they're just rising in price.
Oh, yes.
Especially for that book. That book is a big deal. And getting it 2 years ago, considering what's worth now, perhaps.
Right, and back then, who really knew that these things were going to be worth anything?
Oh yeah, and you know, like what was it? I think we had one on consignment. The guy was asking like 1,000 on it or something like that. Somebody came in and they're like, "I saw it on Comic Book Men sell for this price. Doesn't it mean it's that price?" We're like, no. Comic Book Men maybe have sold it for $100, but it's not $100 here.
Because a funny memory I have about that comic book, Swan, is with you. I think it was the year, I think Jim Lee or maybe Todd McFarlane, you guys had it at your booth.
Yeah, that's right.
It was like 300 or something like that.
Yeah, we were
You
asking.
were asking, yeah, and I was asking if you could move it just a little bit, but unfortunately you couldn't. So, yeah, unfortunately I had to pass. But I think that's my first memory of interacting, with you in terms of comics is, over
Yeah,
Amazing
that's right.
Spider-Man 129.
And then there's our favorite night where we are all just crowded in the lobby at Ala Moana waiting for Ryan Kincaid and just talking story.
Oh, yeah.
That was a
Oh,
fun.
yeah. That was awesome.
I really can't think of any Marvel thing I'm dying to have.
Well, I know you got your Marvel stuff. There's the artist at least for it.
That is true. I mean, Marvel, there's a lot, even DC, there's a lot of keys, but it's hard to narrow it down.
For me, I would like to just keep it a little realistic. I remember before, I'm like, I'm going to own every single independent comic. And I was like, God, no. Here I am
Right?
now. That was me like 10 years ago. I'm like, I'm going to own every single independent comic. And my family are like, yeah, you go for it. I'm like, no.
Well, I mean, independent comic, I guess. I don't know who made it, but The Crow.
Okay, that's a really good choice.
Yeah, because the movie, I mean, like I said, my first experience was with the Brandon Lee movie. Just like Sylvester Stallone with Judge Dredd. I guess those are my two favorite, so-called independent comic book characters.
No, that's a pretty good one. So I know, Scott, you said Cerebus. Is there any other independent stuff you would collect? Like big ones, at least?
There's lots of independence.
Yeah, I think with independence, Scott, you would have me beat on it, but you got a really good list going.
But Cerebus is a favorite. I mean, most of the independents I really want, I have most of them. But I would try and track down the rest of the critters that I don't have.
Okay.
Oh, critters!
That's a fun title too.
Albedo. I guess they all came out about around the same time. Those comics, there's a couple of issues of Fish Police I'm missing.
Fish Police.
Never heard of that one.
Nothing else comes to mind.
Think of it TMNT, but Fish Noir.
Okay.
There's a cartoon series on it and stuff. It was a pretty interesting read. I enjoyed it.
And actually, when the cartoon came out, the Marvel did a short series that was based on the cartoon.
Oh, I did not know that.
And I think it was maybe 6 issues. It wasn't very long.
Wow. I learned something.
So is it like Street Sharks then?
Oh God, no. It's way. It's not that over the top. There's no flashy animation to it. It's really simple fishes as detective.
Okay.
Think like, what if Dick Tracy was a fish, and then that's what you get.
Ooh, okay.
I would say look it up. It's really interesting stuff to get into. I have a couple of them. I don't got a lot for some personal reasons, but it's really worth the read to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you guys read Miracle Man?
Of course.
Yes. I had to think for a second.
Okay, sorry, my internet's weird, so.
No, you're all good, Scott.
Have you guys read Miracle Man?
Yes, a long time.
Yeah, that's a high point in comics for me.
Oh,
And
okay.
again, Alan Moore.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, because I was just watching League of Extraordinary Gentlemen like last week, and I completely forgot it was an Alan Moore book or story anyway. Totally forgot.
There's a fun story with that book. My friend Ken told me about it, and he told me if you find an issue that's selling a douchebag, it's worth $1,000. Because there's a big thing about it, but in one of the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen books, they had to reprint it, but in the original printing, there was advertising for a douchebag in it. Yeah, he told me about that. I all thought he was lying, and then a bunch of my friends were telling me like, no, that's true, man. There's one with advertising a douchebag. I was like, if anyone ever finds out, I'll take a look and be able to see that.
Just to see it.
Yeah, just to see it.
I don't remember that.
Like for me, it's not really something I gotta buy, but something I would like to get back. You know, I have Scott always hears me rant about it, but I'm a big Eric Powell guy, and I remember the first appearance of the Goon. I had that, and
Ooh.
you know, down in life, you know, you lose a lot. So I lost my entire Goon run, including that book. Would love to find a way to just reacquire that in the original series. Probably a Mayhem #1 in the process. That's the top of my list right now. But
Where was his first appearance?
Goon?
Yeah.
Actually, I think I got a picture of it right here. A lot of people think it's Goon #1, but really, where is it?
He was in some anthology thing, right?
Yeah, it's an anthology book. That was his first appearance. The Mayhem #1 is for the Mask. I'm a big Mask guy too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, even that character, I didn't realize it was a comic book character until the movie.
Yeah, see, a lot of people associate him with the movie.
Yeah.
And
my cousin, there's a Mask comic book similar or maybe a slight difference or something like that. I never read it.
It's dark, man. It's,
yeah, and that's what I remember thinking of the movie, is that movie is just not dark enough.
you know, yeah, because I was introduced to the Mask from the movie, and then I went back and got the comics. My uncle tracked it down. So Scott, I sent you the link to what the Goon was. It was Dreamwalker #0. But just thinking about the movie and going back and reading the comic, I'm like, holy crap! All this stuff is happening, you know. And yeah, it was just a brutal comic. I think I couldn't have finished it as a kid. I would like to go back and read it as an adult, but
Yeah, I have still the first 2 Mask series from Dark Horse.
ooh,
I don't have his first appearance.
okay. Did you guys ever read this one that he came out with from Dark Horse? It's when he's running for president. So they did a mask series where he takes over, the guy finds the mask, puts it on, and he's running for president pretty much.
I remember that one.
Yeah, that one came out, I think, a little into mid last year. Mid to late, yeah, around there.
I think the only thing I own from Dark Horse is the Alien and the Predator comics.
Which are a lot of fun to read as well.
Oh, yeah, but, you know, reading it as a kid, I was like, oh, they're a little more graphic than the movies.
Now,
Right.
Since you brought up the Predator and stuff, so you watched the latest Predator movie, right?
Yes, I have.
So what is your feelings on it? To me, it's kind of amazing how they decided, oh, yeah, you know, we'll have Arnold struggle with the Predator. We'll have Danny Glover take one to a street fight. And then we'll have them go to the planet where the guy struggles. And then there's this guy that kind of like walks through it. And the Super Predator's like, it was just easy. I was just, oh.
Yeah, I guess after Arnold's one, my favorite would be Predators with Adrian Brody, because I thought that was a pretty interesting one, that they selected killers from different
Pretty much
walks of life.
Predators come to their planet and they hunt them.
Yeah, to see what is.
Moment. That's when the Yakuza guy was fighting a Predator with the sword.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was pretty awesome, that scene. Even was it what's his name? Venom, the actor from that '70s show.
Oh,
he was a doctor playing, and I thought maybe he was just the first aid guy, help patch him up.
That's his name, I think. Topher Grace. God.
Yeah, Topher Grace.
He had a good reveal, though.
Yeah.
Like, if I had to pick any fun interaction with the Predator, it's kind of to me, I liked it the most. A lot of people would disagree with me. It's an Alien versus Predator, where you see the girl and the Predator walking through the tunnels, and she's asking, "Oh, what's this do?" And he's like signing to her what his weapons do and stuff. To me, that was cool because you don't really see that kind of communication happening in any of the Predator movies, especially with the human. And just to see them team up and talk and try to communicate in a way is real fun to me.
Oh yeah, that was pretty fun too. But I think out of those two, Requiem is my favorite.
Second one was slightly better, yeah, I admit.
Yeah. Well, I like the whole aspect of a cleanup crew. That there is, a certain predator or alien specifically for damage control.
Yeah, I agree.
My favorite part in that movie was the hospital scene with the pregnant ladies.
Oh my God, no.
Oh, that was crazy. Like, wow, they did that. They really did that.
I remember seeing it. I actually left the theater to go throw up. I couldn't, like, that's how bad it was for me. I just,
I was just like, for real?
yeah, I didn't think they're going to show it, though. It would have been cool to hint at it and just have it off camera. And it was just, then they showed it. I just, like, excuse me, I got to go.
Well, even the waitress, too. They did it to the waitress, too, that was pregnant in the beginning.
Right.
It was like, oh, they actually went there and showed it.
You know what was a really good crossover is the Batman and Predator comics.
Ooh, first volume or first run or second run?
All three of them.
Ooh, I never read the third one.
Yeah, they're all good.
Wow, I only read the first two. I didn't know there was a third.
I have the first run, so I say the first run.
No, yeah, the first run, especially when just Predators blinded him. That was fun.
Yeah.
I know I'm probably going to get crucified for this. If it's another Predator crossover, I think Archie versus Predator should have been like a TV show or a movie.
I never read that,
At this point, why not?
It's funny as hell, man. Like, what was it? I think it was Veronica gets covered in mud on one of the covers. And it's my favorite variant because she gets covered in mud and the Predator's carrying away Betty. And she goes, even the space alien chooses Betty over me? What the hell? Or what's wrong with it? I'm like, really, Veronica? You're going to go there? Like, I won't spoil that series. It's a lot of fun. They came out with the second run of it, too. So
it's funny.
Yeah, it seems like they've been doing a lot of Archie comics, like crossovers.
Well, that's the way you got to do it nowadays with them. Because let's put it this way: if you told me, and I was this 15-year-old kid, and you tried selling me Archie and told me the first line is, he hangs out on a malt shop. I'm like, okay, what's a malt shop? And then you're gonna be like, yeah, his friends listen to the jukebox. Like, what's a jukebox? Why doesn't he use his iPhone or something? I can just see it being cerebrally torn apart. So what you do is you take familiar things like Glee and stuff and cross it over to Archie. That's how you get them to read it. I know they kind of went there already. I would love for another Archie Sharknado crossover. Like, that was a funny read to me.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that one.
Yeah, they did a Sharknado crossover. It was a one-shot,
I never heard of that.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Alika, he gives me crap about it because that was the first book I ever got from the store when I first opened, Scott. And he's like, really? Of all the books you're going to buy today, it's that one? I'm like, I was like, I get it. All right.
I mean, had I known about that, that's something I would have got too.
Yeah. If you don't have it, look it up. It's funny as heck. It's just as wacky as the movie.
I think the only Archie comic I own is Archie and the Punisher.
Hey, that's a great run too. I love that crossover because once you heard it, people are like, yeah, you're a liar. And they're like, where is it? I got to read it. I remember giving that to one of my friends.
Yeah, well, because in Marvel, for me, the Punisher has always been my favorite character because of the Dolph Lundgren movie.
Not a bad movie. I'll say this. Not a bad movie.
I still enjoy it.
I never had problems with it, but I remember a lot of people being disappointed, especially because he didn't have the outfit right.
Yeah.
The skull.
But I dug it.
I know.
Back then, I actually, I liked watching Dolph's movies. I liked seeing him in Johnny Mnemonic.
Oh, the preacher or the
Saint
something. Yeah, that was a crazy one.
I love that.
Definitely one of my favorite Keanu Reeves movies.
He was my favorite thing about that movie. Dolph.
Well, I like the guy who could detach his thumb and it'd be like this laser rope or something.
Oh, right.
Can't remember what he was or who he was, but I think it was like Yakuza or something.
Mm.
Isn't there a comic about that movie, Johnny Mnemonic?
I don't know. It seems like that's something that exists.
Yeah. It's like I thought somebody told me, or it was a rumor that there was like a mini series of Johnny Mnemonic in in comic book.
Seems like something that would exist, especially like some indie label, black and white,
Right? Because right after I said that, I picture like Image or something doing something with that.
I'm trying to think of
I recently realized, Swan, that I have a shitload of Spawn issues.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I must have like up to about 150 for starting from number 1. And I
Oh,
didn't
wow.
think I had any of that left.
Wow.
I think I only have like up to 42.
But it's like way past about 300 already, right?
Oh yeah, no, yeah, they're way past it.
Yeah.
I remember
I know.
when Cerebus was being published and they kept saying that Cerebus was going to run for 300 issues. I thought 300 issues is going to take forever, but that's coming on. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of hard to believe that Action Comics and Detective Comics, like reached 1,000 issues.
1,000. Yeah. Crazy.
they got there eventually, but I like how they went back to originally numbering so they could get there. At least they did it, you know. At least they did it the honest way, unless because what was Marvel style? They discounted everything, including the character, and that's how they got their number.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
like,
was weird.
I remember when that happened to Venom, a bunch of the subscribers like, why is it this giant number jump? I was like, all right. It's because of this, and they're like, that's stupid. I was like, don't blame me. Go
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like Marvel with 80 years. I'm like, how did Marvel? Because I know they're timely, but Marvel didn't come around to like the 60s,
Right.
early 60s. So you see like on the covers, sometimes they got the M and the 80, and I'm like, how? That doesn't make sense to me. But unless they're counting timely too.
All lies.
You're right.
I haven't got an answer for you on that one.
Yeah, because like I said, if I'm wrong, hey, tell me. But I'm like thinking, I'm not mistaken. Marvel started only in the 60s.
Right.
True. If there's anything I wish they brought to the movies, it's a really simple fix to how they have Chris Evans played Human Torch and he's Captain America. There's a simple fix to it. He was just an android the whole time. Just do Android Human Torch, and I think that would be a quick. I think so.
Yeah, I almost forgot that he played the Human Torch too.
I think everyone.
Perfect.
Once it comes to Fantastic Four movies, they're like, yeah, put all of them on the side. We don't care who is it. Like, I don't care what anyone says. I like Rise of the Silver Surfer just because Lawrence Fishburne voices Silver Surfer.
Well, I guess to take away from those two movies, I still like Doctor Doom.
In the first one?
Even though, the original Doctor Doom. I thought he was a pretty good actor. I didn't know too much of him. I knew he was from Charmed or something like that.
Right.
He was a demon. So I thought he could pull it off a little better. So I was just disappointed he didn't know magic or they just gave him this ability to absorb energy and, throw it back out at people.
I think wait, what are you saying, Scott?
How do you explain Daredevil turning into Batman?
Good one.
Then he had eye surgery and just realized he was in Gotham.
He gained weight. He gained muscle mass and became Batman.
You know what though? I gotta say,
Sinestro turned to Dr. Savannah.
Maybe. But with that, I think Affleck kind of bumped everyone off my favorite Batman pedestal. I think Affleck definitely, was a better Bruce Wayne. And up until Justice League, he was a better Batman.
Okay, I will agree with you on that. When it comes to Batfleck, though, to me, it just seeing Ben Affleck was such an odd experience, but it was a fun one, you know?
Oh, yeah.
He really made the character his own. He didn't try to, like, copy anybody.
Yeah.
Like, to me, I think the worst TV Batman or movie Batman, I'm just going to say movie Batman because TV doesn't, the only one is Adam West, but it's Christian Bale. I never really dug his Batman at all.
Yeah. My problem with those movies in terms of Batman is, like, he's not really a detective. He's just a thug or a guy who dressed up as a bat suit and beats up people.
I just hate the growling voice. I think that was I think that's what really didn't like. No, I just couldn't accept about this movies. Oh, you know, I talk like this because I'm intimidating. Oh, you
Where
know,
is it?
Batfleck, they explained it was like a
I
microphone
like that he was the
something.
first to try and give him a different voice.
Yeah, you know, I'll give him that.
Yeah.
But this to me, I was like, did it have to be the growl?
Yeah, at least with Batfleck, there was a microphone that.
Yeah, you know, like I said, they
That
had
was
a better way of
boring.
explaining it.
Yeah. Yeah, that I thought was really great. I mean, I love the look, the short ear Batman look, you know, the Dark Knight Returns kind of symbol, and, you know, just that bruiser, you know, of like he's a legend. You know, you don't know if he's real, but when you see him, you're like, holy crap, he is real.
True. Very true. Trying to think.
I liked in Batman Begins. I liked Batman's entrance, where he's like totally in the dark. You don't see what he, you know, where he is. You just see what he's doing.
True.
Oh,
Kind of very horror movie kind of feel to it, you know.
Okay, you
Yeah.
have me on that one. You definitely have me on that one. I just hated how they treated Scarecrow through that movie.
hey, Kelly.
Yeah.
You know, we had Scarecrow on screen, and what happens? He gets tasered in the face, and that's it. I'm like, damn it,
Right.
damn it. We could have had something. I think that's what I appreciate about every Batman movie that came out. We didn't get Batman, Joker all the time. We got a different character, at least an attempt at it, you know?
I was happy with Batman Begins with Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah, that was a really phenomenal performance there.
Yeah. And when I heard Liam Neeson was cast as him, I was sold to at least watch it.
I'll agree.
Batman Begins is my favorite of those three movies.
It's not The Dark Knight Rises?
No.
'Cause, like, to me, anybody who brings up those three, everyone's always The Dark Knight Rises. I'm like, all right. They're like, don't you agree? I'm like, no, not really. I would have to agree with you, Scott. Batman Begins is a really good movie.
For me, I mean, it's not even a safe pick. It's The Dark Knight for me, just because of the Joker. You know, the way Heath Ledger decided to play him as kind of a manipulator, you know, kind of Joker, like,
Right.
you know, the ball's over here, but over here something else is going on. You know, especially that speech at the end when Batman finally defeated him. He's like, you think I'd risk, you know, battling for the city with a fist fight for you? You think you think I'm gonna win? No, I'm gonna play for a higher stake.
True. Yeah, and then what happened? We got Jared Leto after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the only person in the world that just thought Heath Ledger was all right. And I actually dug Jared Leto's Joker. It was so bizarre.
Yeah, there are some aspects of Jared Leto that I thought was pretty good. Others I couldn't understand why he would make the kind of choices of acting or even the look that he
I still
did.
love the look of Jared Leto's Joker. He just like, to him, he was just like, Dad, it's like looking at the 66 series, but updated. I'm like, all right, I think I can dig that, because he was just telling me it's hard to look at, because I looked at it from his point of view. It's hard for him to like Heath Ledger's Joker because, that's a pretty scary looking Joker.
Oh yeah.
When you look at it, then you go to Jack Nicholson. To him, he just didn't care for it. But if you looked at Batman 66 Joker, there are some things I see kind of goes into Jared Leto. I know I'm going to sound like a crazy person to whoever watches this, and that's okay. But with Jared Leto's Joker, I think the favorite part about it was just the way he did the laugh. He just covered the mouth, and I was like, all right, that's a pretty cool way of doing it. Because then you look at everyone goes for a laugh or something, but he covers it. He tries to do something new.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good. I mean, I think my favorite scene with him is like that rapper Common, when he's commenting on Harley Quinn, and all of a sudden he just flips. He kind of pushes the situation to make Common uncomfortable, and then he's all like, okay, well, you don't want to play along with me, so you're no good to me, or you're no use to me.
Very true. And he tried to turn it around on him and everything. He's like, oh, just take Harley. And then now he had a reason to kill him.
Yep. Exactly. You don't want her? Okay, fine. She's not good enough for you, then you're not good enough to be breathing at all.
Yeah.
There was things I liked about each of the Joker actors, but I still feel like I haven't seen the Joker from the comic books.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's actually, wow. I'd love to hear more.
None of the movie Jokers strike me or make me feel the way I feel reading a good Joker story.
Okay.
Not even Mask of the Phantasm?
Oh, okay. Well, the animated series isn't count.
See, it's not just considering all the live
That's
action.
just
And plus,
to try and get
the Mask of Phantasm
actor to do that in screen. I don't know.
I think you definitely got to be different, a special type of human to be able to pull off a character like that.
Now let me ask you.
Everybody has like a piece of.
Like everyone takes a little piece of the Joker, pretty much, but not.
Yeah, I feel like everybody kind of touched on different aspects of him, but none of them really struck me as that's the Joker. Yeah.
Okay.
That was definitely a good point.
Wow, that was a really great point, Scott. Now you're going to make me go back and watch everybody again.
Because certainly, when I saw Jack Nicholson, I thought, wow, that was really good. Then I saw Heath Ledger, and I thought, oh, he had some good things too. And Jared Leto he made me laugh, and I kind of that's kind of what I wanted out of him in that movie. So it worked for me. But I just still feel like they're all only touching different aspects of him.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Jack Nicholson's, I think, was more of a gangster Joker. I guess Heath Ledger's, they always say the anarchist. I don't really think so. Like I said, I believe he was just a manipulative Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Always pushing people in the right direction to kind of get what he wanted out of the person or the situation. Like, was in that meeting room where the pencil, the magic trick. It's like he kept poking and prodding at that character to get him to react. Until he finally got what he wanted. He's like, okay, fine. Kill this guy and show you all that I'm not playing around.
Right.
All right. That's a really good point too. I like that.
And I
And then
am
Leto
very attached
haven't
to
really quite gotten the hand of him.
I mean, I'm very attached to the part in the Joker's origin where, his face is actually stuck like that. So, if it's painted on white, then to me that doesn't work for me. If the smile isn't genuinely a messed up, disfigurement, doesn't work for me. It has to have all of that.
Okay, I can back
Okay.
that up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good one, thinking about it now.
I mean, the idea to me was that, he was probably a semi-normal guy who just, I mean, something has to push you so far that you just totally go completely bananas, I mean, he's not just a little bit crazy. He's just totally gone to the point where, for me, nobody would be able to understand what he's doing.
Yeah. Well, that's why I love my favorite line for The Dark Knight is the Joker. Where he tells Batman, madness is like gravity. All it takes is a little push.
Right.
Or all it takes is one bad day.
Oh, we didn't even talk about Joaquin Phoenix.
That's right. God, and he's, what, one of two to win an Oscar for portraying the Joker?
I know.
I enjoyed Joaquin Phoenix as a Joker. I mean, I thought he was fun.
Even him,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
aspects like he totally hit on, but again, not the complete Joker yet.
I can
Well, we'll
respect
see.
that.
Maybe we'll get it in Joker 2 whenever that comes out. Because it's supposed to be a one-off movie, but because it's the most successful comic book movie in the history of film,
I wouldn't give it a sequel. I'll just leave it as a one-off, and that's it. Just leave it.
I would too, but
But I get it. Money talks louder.
money talk. Yep.
Yeah, no, I understand how it works, but the thing is, if they come out with a sequel, I think it's going to fall to the curse of the sequel, which is pretty much that sequel just bombs or something, or it's not that great because everyone holds this first one up to a higher standard.
That is definitely true, but so I think in very, very rare instances, like a sequel, in terms of even comic book movies, there's very rare or maybe one or two that are successful or better than the first.
It's either that or the second one's terrible, then the third one is where it really did good, that's where the best one was.
X2 was better than the first X-Men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know only one person who would disagree with you and say X3 was better, but we ain't gonna go into that. That's a whole
Who would say X3? Oh my God, I don't want to know. I don't want to meet that person.
Yeah, that movie. Oh, just so many problems.
God, the only thing I loved about that movie was Kelsey Grammer's Beast, and that was it.
That was decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was believable. So it was all right. But all right, guys, so that's the end of the show already. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining me, guys. Justin, Scott.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, no worries. So, if anything, we'll catch you guys next week. Thanks, guys.
Yep.